Yes, you do.
Hi.
I am tired.
Oh, yeah.
I was at Janet Jackson. Oh, pleasure
girls at the
principal.
party.
Oh. I left after that song. I had to do that
You
song.
should. Yeah. It's all for you.
Oh, it was just banger after banger.
Was she just dancing her pants off?
No.
Really?
She was doing some moves. I mean, she's in her 50s, right? Or 60s. How old is Janet Jackson?
Yeah. I don't know. You keep telling me the moves. I'm going to Google.
I've never seen her before, but I've watched her other tours, like throughout the years, right? Like HBO specials, stuff like that. This was more bulky coats and just kind of dancing with a couple moves with her backup dancers. Like they were getting it.
She's 58.
She had all the 58?
Yeah.
She had all the dancers and she would do some moves with them, but it was more like this. And she was singing. Her voice is still there, man.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
It was so fun.
Good. Like on Father's Day, I know you had some you know, a little bit of anxiety going into the weekend.
I did.
First Father's Day as a single dad, all of those things. You were kind of on the fence. Am I going? Am I not going?
I texted you yesterday, didn't I?
Yeah, you're like, tell me not to feel guilty if I don't go. And I was like, I was pantsless all weekend with no kids or husband at the house, watching the 75th episode of Your Honor. So I was like, don't go.
Don't go. Well, so I just said goodbye to my kids. To go to Janet Jackson. And that's always hard. Like the past year and a half, like that's my new normal. I have to say goodbye to the kids for a while, right? We split the time with the kids. So I was lucky enough to have them for Saturday at 5 until Sunday at 5. So we squeezed it all in. We slept in a tent in the backyard. We had tacos for dinner. We did boba. We watched movies. We saw Inside Out. We went to Snooze for breakfast and went to a barbecue, played volleyball. It was action-packed and it was great.
Yeah.
And we all had a great time. It was a great Father's Day. Weird, but great. And so I had to reward myself with Janet Jackson.
Oh my God.
I said, you go, kids. Go be with your mom.
It's all for you.
Daddy's got something to do. And Nelly, he didn't have the Band-Aid.
The Band-Aid?
But Ashanti came out.
Well, isn't his brother out of prison? Isn't that why he was wearing it? It was like a prison tribute or something?
Yeah.
I'd imagine if he was still in prison, you probably shouldn't be tributing a guy like that. He probably did something pretty bad to be serving decades now.
I know. I had seen Nelly open up for FGL.
Yeah,
I think you were with me.
Yeah.
And that was fun, but it was just so much fun. The lady next to me did not enjoy my dancing.
Right.
Or my singing.
Well,
it was loud.
Your volume is loud. Like you start here. Your dancing, I've given the name of Rock'em Sock'em Robots. There it is. Now.
And then I get big.
There it is. And it gets real big. It gets real big. As the night goes on, it goes from keeping it tight and right in here, because it starts to cactus now. Now we're doing this one. You know what I mean? So I'd imagine if she was sitting next to you. Listening to your concert.
And yes, she was listening to Big Mike and I's concert because we were both singing.
Yeah.
And she was not there to have as much fun as I was.
Okay.
Halfway, Janet Jackson started to do like a couple slow songs. She sat down. I did not.
Yeah.
Then I just swayed. Then I was just swaying.
Oh, the Rock'em Sock'em became just kind of like a hug it in, right?
She yelled at me a couple times, mad. So
God.
apologies if you're watching this. She actually,
She actually.
I was just gonna say she yelled at me. I paid the same amount of money for these seats as you.
You didn't.
I didn't pay money for those tickets.
I was gonna say you didn't do Radio Guide, did you? And be like, actually,
no.
God,
no.
I'd smack you for her. All right, let's move on to Zach Lane Bryan in town for 2 shows this weekend too. Empower Field, huge, massive, giant. I made the call of Lumineers being there.
Yes, that was on Friday night. Came out to seeing Revival. It was the encore, right? And then also sang, was it Spotless?
Yeah, great
Topless?
song.
Topless.
I ain't spotless, neither is you. Once in your life, I'm gonna see it through. It's so good. And I love the Lumineers so much. Massive, massive, massive Lumineers fan.
But it was just the dude from the Lumineers that came out, or did the whole Lumineers band?
I think it was just the guy. I'm not really sure. I mean, I wasn't there because I didn't go Friday. I chose my ticket of Saturday. They did not show up Saturday. He sang with a fan. Not the Lumineers. Not the Lumineers. So good though. I mean, look at him as an artist, and you go to his show and you see that much love. It's just so cool. Like country is just so huge right now. Morgan Wallen's next. Different crowd.
Different crowd.
Maybe,
Right.
I
I was
don't
going
know.
to say Morgan Wallen, you're going to see more fights.
Yeah.
Probably.
God.
Zach Bryan, no fights. Because it's all
Yes.
just love songs
Be
and breakup
nice.
songs and sway songs. Did you see anybody get rowdy at Zach Bryan?
No.
No.
No, I didn't. I did see
Best
getting dropped
behavior.
off. Honestly, if you're going to Morgan and you didn't go to Zach Bryan, be aware of the transportation issues down and around there. It's a freaking mess, you guys. Like light rail right now is down to 10 miles an hour because of something called like
Railburn.
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 It's taking like an hour and a half from Lincoln to get down there. And then so we go, and of course, Uber to be safe. They drop you off for an Uber. I showed you the picture. It's the most sketch area I've ever seen in my life with just like strange people hanging around and loitering. It's dark. It's gravel. Like none of that felt good. None of that felt good.
And so with people not taking the RTD because you hear about all these issues, I don't want to spend an hour and a half both ways on an
I
RTD
know.
train.
I know.
So I'm going to take an Uber or a
Yeah.
Lyft. And then it's just sketchy. That doesn't help
Yes.
the situation. And then you got surge pricing. Ugh.
I actually said to them, like when we were walking, because they're like, you have to go over here like for an Uber. And when we got there, I'm like, this is where you have us waiting? I said it, like, and took a video. I'm like, this is super sketch. Like no one was around, Fizz. No one. That's not a good feeling, especially like two
No.
women walking around in there. It
Oh,
felt
did you?
icky.
So you left a little before Zach was
Yeah,
over.
yeah,
So it wasn't
yeah.
packed.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, I imagine that.
Super sketch.
Yeah. If they're, ooh.
I know. So just for Morgan Wallen, just as a heads up, it's not like there's a slick way to do any of this. I found.
Right.
There's not the way to do it. It's all a disaster. But it was a hell of a show, you know?
Did anybody tailgate? Did you guys tailgate, Zach Bryan?
No.
You didn't tailgate?
Didn't
Big Mike, did you
tailgate,
tailgate? Ugh.
No tailgating. I mean, there were people down there doing it.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. People
Morgan
were
Wallen will
tailgating
be a tail.
Janet.
Were they really?
Yeah.
That's the dance party I need to go to.
so good.
Because again, like very different. Like
Very
a
different.
Zach Bryan tailgate is like it would be a Lumineers tailgate. Same
Yeah,
thing. I would love it.
Yeah. yeah.
Very vibey, very
Oh.
fun. Janet though, ooh, we'd be pulling a muscle before we get in there.
Oh, God. Do you know the best tailgater is for Kenny Chesney? That's the
Oh,
best
yeah.
tailgate. Best.
Every time.
Let's make a plan for Kenny Chesney to crash some tailgates.
Yes, yes.
Like we
we
do.
used to do, yeah. It was so fun. Where we just walk around. I mean, we'll have to like we usually have like fun prizes and stuff, but
Yeah.
it is so much fun.
Trade you a bumper sticker for some of that guac.
Yeah, and we have. Do you remember the tailgate that we stopped at? And they were so sweet. They listened to the show and they were drinking something, and they had like buckets, and they're like, "We're gonna make you one," and we're like, "Oh, you're so sweet, thank you." And then it took like 20 minutes,
Yep.
and they basically handed us like a sandbox bucket with all these things in it, and bottles, and like cotton candy.
It was
and
awesome, yeah.
there was like a pinwheel, and so they did a cartwheel when they delivered it, glitter gun, all of it, and we're just like, "Oh God, thank you." You're not going to see the show tonight, I bet.
Kenny Chesney tailgating is on its own level.
I
So I was
know.
curious if Zach Bryan, a lot of
Yeah.
people tailgating. You didn't do it.
Not really. But otherwise, it's a Monday. It's again going to be a hot one. So everybody have a great day. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
a weird week.
Yeah.
Like Wednesday's a day off, a federal day off.
Happy Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Happy Juneteenth.
So like we do 2 days and then 2 days. It's going to be a new thing.
Yeah. Just all Wednesday morning.
Just stay home.
I'm just sleeping in Wednesday. When's the last time that
I
happened?
know, getting us ready for the weekend. All right, you guys. Have a good day.